1982, New Zealand artist Robin White, her husband Mike Furakowski, and their 8-year-old son Michael moved to Kiribati, previously known as the Gilbert Islands. 2 more of their children, Conrad and Florence, were born there. Several years after the family established their home in this Pacific island nation of Kiribati, they were visited by longtime family friend Anthony Vojkovic.
Obviously, these are especially for Conrad and Florence. Ernest Adams, a very fine New Zealand company. Pandas and smiling faces.
Look at this.
Another fine brew of coffee.
Mike and Robin were invited by the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of New Zealand to serve as pioneers.
And so we got this letter out of the blue saying, would we consider coming to live in Kiribati as New Zealand pioneers because of the possibility of living off Robin's earnings. Now, I don't know whether they had any idea what Robin's earnings had been at the time. They weren't sort of excessive by any means. Yeah. But we were pretty young, early 30s, one child.
Very young.
Very young, yeah. We weren't too old anyway. So
we're still very young.
We decided to give it a try.
We hadn't discussed going pioneering. And I was the one that cleared the mailbox that day, and there was this letter. And it was such a shock. My first reaction, I must say, was I burst into tears because it was like we'd gone already, and it was traumatic. To think of leaving New Zealand was not an easy thought. Not for someone I'd invested so much in being there and in loving the place and celebrating its beauty and the nature of it and so on.
The day I arrived, it was very, very beautiful, sort of the full sunny day, middle of the morning. It was just such a beautiful looking place. I was appalled at how little land there was between the ocean and lagoon. There's nowhere on this island where you couldn't hit a golf ball from the lagoon side to the ocean side if the trees weren't there. I mean, it's that narrow.
Or for me, I could never hit a golf ball.
I couldn't hit a golf ball anyway.
Kiribati straddles both the equator and the international dateline. These Micronesian people have lived for hundreds of years on these small islands, covering 2 million square miles of Pacific Ocean. The capital is located on the atoll of Tarawa. It is also the home of our pioneer family.
Although South Tarawa is very urban, it still tends to function as a village. Far more so, obviously, on an outer island, but we are still living in what feels like a village. And I really have this feeling a village is a very healthy unit to live in. It's a manageable human scale. It seems to fulfill the needs of human beings at every level: material, intellectual, social, cultural. I mean, a city is a wonderful buzz. It's exciting, and I love going back into the big city, and it has much to offer. But there are some things a city doesn't necessarily offer. On that human level of wanting social, warm, loving contact with people, which is very nourishing to your soul, to your spirit, and is what keeps you going. Well, it keeps me going. So we'll see if they're ready. Feel sorry for people in big cities sometimes.